Attention! This makes absolutely no sense. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zander's Facts.
Everyone, welcome in to the latest edition of the Zander's Facts podcast. I am the aforementioned Zander, of course, episode 11, here on April 14th. Oh my gosh, midway through April, but thank you for listening to the Zander's Facts podcast. And remember, if you want to support the Zander's Facts podcast, you can subscribe, download, rate, and review. Follow on the social medias if you're into that thing. Spread the word and tell all your friends about the greatest podcast in the world, which is the Zander's Facts podcast. Remember, if you haven't listened to any or some of our past episodes, you need to go do that. Last week, we talked about golf. The week before, NCAAs. We talked, crazy stuff. We can talk about all kinds of things here on the Zander's Facts podcast. So if you haven't done that, go listen. But thank you for listening to our newest episode, episode 11, which is kind of going to be a little recap episode of everything that's been going on lately, because there's been a ton of crazy stuff going on recently. So I decided to do a little recap episode where we talk about everything, not just specific topics. So this week we've got sports, we've got news, and I teased this a little last week. We've got a brand new segment coming here on the Zander's Facts podcast. I mean, wow. Maybe the first segment of the Zander's Facts podcast ever. But we've got that coming up for you, but first, let's do a little whip around the world of sports. So we talked last week, I had Mason on. He talked about golf and the Masters, and we discussed who was going to win. Well, Mason picked Bryson DeChambeau. Didn't do so well. He made the cut. He didn't do so well, though. My pick, well, I kind of made a pick. I don't think I actually said my pick, but I kind of made a pick. I picked Zander Schauffele. His name is Schauffele, not Shuffle that I was saying. Schauffele. He finished third. How about that? My new favorite, he is. Zander Schauffele, my new favorite golfer. Even though he spells his name wrong, he spells it with an X. He's still my new favorite because we have the same name. Our actual names are the same. Okay. And then the actual winner was Hideki Matsuyama, the first Japanese male to ever win a major tournament in golf. The first to ever win either the Masters or the US Open or the Open, which is the British Open, or the PGA Championship, and he won the Masters. And he was the first Japanese player to lead after a round at the Masters when he was leading after the third round. That's pretty cool. I mean, come on, how about that? There's golf. So now, I watched all weekend Masters. Now I'm kind of into golf. And I'm also pretty good, so fight me. But, switching gears to the NBA. I said last weekend because college basketball was over. But now we've got more time for the NBA. And usually, right now, in the middle of April, is when the NBA starts the playoffs. But this year, they started the season in December instead of October, and they only took off 10 games from the regular season. So it's a 72-game season when it's usually 82 games. So they're still going, and they're still going to go in the regular season for another month or so. And then we get to the play-in tournament, which is new, and then we get into the playoffs. So just taking a look around the league. Taking a look. We should have Hillbilly on because he's the NBA expert, but I'll do this solo here. So in the East, we've still got Philly, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee. Those are the top three teams in the East. And, take a look at play, take a look at standings. It's clear. But the next tier, last time we talked about the NBA, my Heat were not doing so well. But now they're fifth, and they're almost fourth in the East. They're rolling. They made some trades. Victor Oladipo. They got a lot better at the trade deadline. And so, starting to put it together, starting to make a run. They were the 5 seed last year in the bubble when they went to the finals. And they're the 5th seed right now.
Get that out of here.
Atlanta's the 4th seed, though. I mean, how about that? They fired their coach in the middle of the year. And they're the 4th seed. I mean, wow, how about that? Trae Young. Or rolling. But how about at 6? Charlotte, the Hornets. First off, if you didn't see that Miles Bridges stuck, you need to go look at it. Because diddly-dee. I don't know what he said. That was Dunk of the Year candidate. If you haven't seen it, Miles Bridges dunk on Twitter, YouTube, wherever. They're in 6, and they don't even have LaMelo for the rest of the season, who was playing really well. Rookie of the Year candidate. He might have been the favorite. But he's not out. They're 9 games back of the top, and they're at 6. So, if they were in the West, they'd be out of it, but they're in the East, so they got a good chance. And the Celtics, who have struggled all year, are back at 7, and the New York Knickerbockers, the Knicks, are at 8. I mean, how about that? The Knicks are rolling. Thibodeau. Yeah, it won't last. I don't know, but who else is there in the East?
Whoa.
Washington. The Wizards, my other team. No. All right, the East. Miami. Who's going to come out of the East? Miami. They probably won't, because Brooklyn is 2nd, and they've got they just got Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge. It's not fair. And to the West now. So the Jazz have been rolling. They were rolling. They just lost to the Wizards, though. So I don't know how you can be rolling if you lose to the Wizards. But they still have the best record of the West. But remember when we had Hillbilly on, I was like, at the beginning of the season, I was like, Phoenix, the Suns. Because they have Devin Booker, my guy. They got Jay Crowder, Chris Paul. They are 1.5 games back of the Jazz for the best record in the West right now, as of Tuesday. I mean,
here it comes.
They're coming. Phoenix. Let me tell you right now, Phoenix is coming out of the West. Whoa! Well, the Nuggets are too. They're rolling. They're not going to come out of the West, but the Nuggets are rolling too. They struggled early, but something bad happened, guys. Jamal Murray. So actually, Monday night, I watched the Warriors-Nuggets game, and a bunch of stuff happened in that game. So Steph Curry passed Wilt Chamberlain to take first place on the all-time scoring list for Golden State for the Warriors. That was pretty big. He had 53 points. He only needed 19, and he got it in the first quarter, but he scored 53. Warriors won that game. Warriors have struggled this year, so they definitely needed that because they haven't had Clay. But in the final minutes of that game, which wasn't close at the end really, the Warriors had it locked up. Jamal Murray was out there. He fell and he tore his ACL. Oh, terrible!
Man, that was rough.
He did. It was a non-contact injury in the final minutes of the game when they were down, and it didn't matter. I mean, that's just terrible. The Nuggets are really good, though. Jamal Murray might be... Jokic is on that team, so he's not the best player. He's one of the best players on that team, though. But, they have Jokic. They have Aaron Gordon. They have Michael Porter. They have all these guys who can step up. So, not too worried about the Nuggets, though. But losing Jamal Murray, that probably takes you down from, actually being able to get out of the West and win the championship, too. Yeah, probably not going to happen. Because they're not going to have him for the rest of the year. So the Jazz are in first. Phoenix is in second in the West. Nuggets are actually fourth. Clippers are third. Clippers are just hanging there. They've got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. They're just hanging there. And the Lakers, LeBron, AD, who have been out for weeks now with injury, they fall into fifth. They're, the best player out there right now is Dennis Schroeder. But they're doing okay. They're fifth. I think they're about 9 games back of the first place Jazz. And considering the Clippers are only 3 games back and Phoenix is 1.5 games, that's not pretty good. That's not good for the Lakers. And, All right. That's the NBA, National Basketball Association. We're definitely going to be talking more about that, especially as the playoffs wind up. The race to the NBA Finals, which is in July this year. Usually it's end of May, beginning of June. It's in July. I don't know. They all pushed it back a week. But baseball! All right, we'll skip baseball. Well, baseball just started a few weeks ago. Give me a break. I might care about baseball if the Nationals were pretty good. Ever since they won the World Series, last year was a dumpster fire. This year, they're 2-5 right now. I don't know. We'll see. They might. Juan Soto. All right, but how about this? NFL Draft. That's 2 weeks away. Can you believe that? Holy cow. So, I've got a big announcement here.
Big fact incoming.
In 2 weeks, on this podcast, Zander will release his very own mock draft. Whoa! What, Zander? So, you don't have to listen to Mel Kiper or Todd McShay or whoever anymore. You can listen to Zander. I'll only do the first round. But Zander's going to get them right. We're actually going to do a little game here. I'm actually going to see how many I get right compared to, what's his name, Kiper and McShay. Oh, gosh. And if I win, I got the Baylor one right. So, Zander's facts. But that's all I got for sports right now. The Olympics. I think they're actually happening. How about that? That'll be fun this summer. Because baseball is the only thing else on. All right. And the MLS. Ooh, that hasn't started yet. I don't know why. MLS is fun. Soccer. Football. All right. So, transitioning from sports over to news. Politics. So, first off, let's talk about the vaccine. Because there was a big announcement today that was not good.
Yikes!
So, I saw on Saturday, I think, every Saturday, millions of people are getting vaccinated. Every day, millions of people are getting vaccinated. But Saturdays is like when the most people are getting vaccinated because there's like records. But the U.S. has actually vaccinated more people than any other country. That's not per capita, that's just total. So 36% of Americans have been vaccinated. And 22% have been fully vaccinated as of Tuesday the 13th. That's where I'm getting this data. So both of those are 7th percentage-wise, percentage of population-wise. And I think that includes children too, which I couldn't find any data that did not include children, so I can do that. But they might be eligible soon. I don't know. The Pfizer one for 12 to 16-year-olds looks like it's going pretty smoothly. So, it looks like the current administration's policy of using a more nationwide approach for the vaccine has been working. Salute Biden. Instead of the previous administration's policies, not just for vaccines, but also tests and lockdowns. Tests which were a rarity for months. The states making those decisions, not the federal government. So, I don't know. In fact, how about this? Zander himself, me, is getting his first dose this week. Come on! Whoa! I am. I'm getting the Pfizer one. So, how about that? And if you haven't gotten vaccinated, in Virginia is opening everyone up for eligibility this week. So that's how I'm getting it. So if you haven't gotten it and you're eligible, what are you doing? Listen to this podcast. You need to go sign up right now. But, all right, so that's all good stuff. I said there was a problem. There is a problem. From Johnson & Johnson. Oh, another one? Yeah, because there was that one where they had the issue at the factory where they were producing the vaccines. And millions of doses were ruined or something. I don't know. That affected stuff. And now, on Tuesday, today, as I'm recording this podcast, the CDC and the FDA both recommended pausing the use of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine after it was discovered that there were 6 women, now millions and millions have taken this vaccine, but 6 women who took this vaccine then developed very rare blood clots 1 to 3 weeks after taking this vaccine. And actually in Virginia, we've learned that a woman has died after taking the vaccine.
That was terrible.
Now, the CDC is investigating whether it was because of the vaccine. We don't know that yet. But, oh, that's not good. So they paused it. So now no one can get the Johnson & Johnson right now.
Oops.
So now people are worried who did get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. What's going to happen? Well, 6 people out of millions and millions. So I think you're fine. I think. You're pretty sure. 99.9999999999999% sure. So, no reason to worry. But hopefully we can get this resolved. Because Pfizer and Moderna are the only ones out there right now. All right. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing, which is the last thing, which is the biggest, which I know you've all seen, is what's going on right now with the police. Because there's a bunch of issues going on. So if you turn on CNN or the news right now, you'll probably, during the day, you'll probably see coverage of the trial that's going on in Minneapolis with former police officer Derek Chauvin, who was the one who murdered George Floyd. So while that's going on, we're still getting incidents right now. So the big one that just happened on Sunday outside of Minneapolis in Brooklyn Center was where 20-year-old Dante Wright was shot and killed by police. So the officer involved and the chief of police of Brooklyn Center have resigned. The officer was on administrative leave. Please, give me a break. We just learned today that the officer in Kenosha who killed Jacob Blake is going back to work. No trouble whatsoever. I mean, please, give me a break. A couple of breaks, actually. The chief said Monday in a press conference that the officer meant to pull out her taser, but instead pulled out her gun. You buying that? You buying that story too? Because I'm not. Well, maybe, but that's. She should be fired, even if she was like, "Oh, well, I don't know what I'm pulling for." I mean, that's simple training. I have a thing here that I want to share with you all because it's interesting. The differences in requirements to be a police officer. So I've got 4 countries here. I've got Norway, which in Norway, they require 3 years of training to become a police officer. And between 2002 and 2016, they had 4 fatalities caused by police. Only 4. Norway doesn't have a lot of people, but only 4. Come on. In Finland, you need a 3-year degree to become a police officer. And between 2000 and 2018, there were 7 people killed. Finland. And in Germany, which is a lot bigger than those 2, you need 2 years to become a police officer. 2 years of training. And since 1990, there have been 267 people who have died by police shootings. So, in the U.S.,
here comes the fact.
You only need a high school diploma and approximately 21 weeks of training to become a police officer. And in 2019, there were 1,004 people killed by police. In 2019. I mean, enough said. Probably other factors in that too, but that's a big one. Training. Anyone can be a police officer. A high school diploma, 21 weeks training. Go ahead. Sign up. I mean, apparently the training there was not proper. So, another reason why the chief of police resigned. Another incident that happened, which is going to lead me on to this big thing, happened here in Virginia. There's video of it. There's half an hour of video of it, which I have watched, and I think you all should watch as well, where an Army lieutenant, Karan Nazario, who is black and Latino, and was in uniform while driving, was pepper sprayed and forced to the ground during a traffic stop by 2 white officers. So this happened in Windsor, which is a small town which is just west of Suffolk, which is the Hampton Roads area, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So this incident happened because the officers noticed that there was no rear license plate on the vehicle. And so they tried to pull him over. But Nazario didn't stop until he got to a well-lit gas station. Because, that's what you're learning to do. If you don't feel comfortable, then just drive slowly until you get to an area where you do feel safe. A well-lit gas station where there are other people, where there are lights, where there are cameras. So that's what he should have done. Wasn't wrong there. And then the officers noticed that there was a temporary plate taped to the window. So the reason that he was stopped was no longer an issue. But this still happened. Watch the video. So both of these show that the status quo is not working. Like, changes need to be made. We talked about gun control a few weeks ago. This is what the policies we have in place right now, the laws, are not working. We just had a school shooting in Knoxville, Tennessee, where an individual has died. Clearly, something needs to change. So, we should be electing people who want things to change, right? Some people do. I do. But I'm going to say this. There is one party who wants things to change, who is trying to get things to change. And there's one party who's not. And I think you know those two, because I'm about to talk about this. So the Democrats, last summer, after the death of George Floyd, they introduced the Justice in Policing Act. And I'm going to do a breakdown. I'm going to tell you what it's all about. So, let's do a breakdown here. President Biden's actually called it a top priority to pass this bill. So, in Virginia, they've had bills to end qualified immunity for officers. They've been brought up many times, this year including, and they died in the General Assembly, even with the Democrats in charge, because they were the moderates, not the progressives. The moderates killed it. So, Virginia elections are this year. We'll see what happens. But this national bill, so all this is from PBS NewsHour. So this national bill would change the qualified immunity doctrine, which I just said gives qualified immunity to police officers when they use force. It would grant state attorneys general to conduct investigations or create independent investigations in regards to law enforcement misconduct or the excessive use of force, as well as give those attorneys general the power to collect data on police interactions, and it will allow the U.S. Attorney General, who's Merrick Garland, to create law enforcement accreditation standard recommendations.
Quick facts!
So what would it also do? There's a ton of stuff it would do. So it would create a federal registry of all law enforcement officers, state, local, federal, in the U.S., to include complaints and reports, while also requiring states to report any incidents of force against citizens or law enforcement to the Justice Department. It also mandates police receive racial, religious, and discriminatory profiling training, and it would require all law enforcement agencies to submit investigatory activities data to the Justice Department. It also, big ones here you might understand, bans chokeholds. It changes the use of force standard for officers from when it is reasonable to only when it is necessary to prevent death or serious injury. It limits the transfer of military-grade equipment to local officers, big guns. It requires federal officers to wear body cameras. It mandates all federal police vehicles have dash cameras. It makes lynching a federal hate crime, and it makes it a federal crime to conspire to violate any hate crime laws. Oh, Charlottesville. The problem? It's not going to get past the filibuster. Why?
Why would you do this to me?
Because there's a thing called the filibuster in place, which I think I talked about earlier on this podcast, episode, that requires 60 votes for a law to be passed. And then the guys can just say, I filibuster, who don't like it. That's what the Republicans do, because none of them have come out in support of the bill. I don't know what they want to do. I don't know what they think. I guess they think it's okay that this stuff's happening, because they're not doing anything about it. And if you don't think so, tell me. We can debate it. Zander's facts. I don't know. That's the issue. That's the big issue going on, folks. And those are the big issues we've got going on here on Zander's Facts. That's all the news I've got for you. I mean, jeez Louise. Holy recap. But don't leave yet, because we've got something very special here coming up. It's a brand new segment here on the Zander's Facts podcast. You know what it is? Emergency facts. Yes, emergency facts.
Morning, morning.
It's big. It's fun. So, we're trying something new this week. All right, background here. So, this was a segment that we produced while we were in the car driving. So, emergency facts. So, we just got the topics off our head. We didn't even plan this. We said, all right, let's get in the car. We're going to take a half-hour drive. Let's turn on the recorder on the phone, and let's go. Let's just talk. And so we did. So we recorded this back on Saturday, April the 3rd. So this was actually a week and a half ago. So it's kind of funny to listen to the stuff we're talking about. It kind of makes sense today, though. So we actually recorded this in the middle of the Final Four games on that day. I mean, how about that? So I've got two other people who joined me here. I've got Amy Awesome and Goose. Both prior guests. So it's their second appearances here. And it's the first time I've had two guests simultaneously on Zander's Facts. I mean, come on, how about that? All right, so sit back, enjoy Emergency Facts, because here we go. Zander's Facts podcast keeps rolling on.
Zander's Facts.
Emergency Zander's Facts in the car! Zander is driving.
Yes.
Zander.
And he may have had some alcohol. Just kidding.
Here with Amy, Awesome, and Goose.
And
right.
Zander.
And Zander.
You know that.
Goose, how are you doing this
Good.
evening?
It's double people. This is crazy.
It is. Most guests we've ever had on an edition of Zander's Facts.
Maybe we should do 4 next time. Let's break the record.
Yeah, we could have had 4. I don't know where all the other people are.
They're in the Volvo.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Amy Awesome?
I am, I'm awesome, and I'm married.
Yeah.
What the heck just happened? Woohoo! Married.
Very special thing happened today.
It did.
In the Zander's Facts world.
Yeah, by the way, you might want to beep some out because she's drunk.
We might edit that out.
Not drunk, but anyway. No, it was a fun time. We had good food and lots of fams, and it was sun. There was sun and no snow.
COVID safe.
COVID safe. Everybody was vaccinated.
Well, except the kids. Except that.
Kids didn't need to be vaccinated. It was A-okay. Yeah, it was a good time. So
Yeah.
glad everybody got to come.
Person probably didn't like my bright light on.
Okay, well, what was the
Behind them.
emergency meeting about anyway?
The emergency meeting.
Yeah.
Has something happened, Zander? Do we need to talk about it?
No, it's called Emergency Podcast because it's, random podcasting. It's an emergency.
Well, what has happened today in the
There's no
world that we
sudden
need
topic.
to...
Well,
COVID-19.
today is Saturday, April
3rd.
We are
Final Four day.
Oh my gosh.
We're
What time are we
currently
recording this? Like
It
8
is
something. 8:20 something.
8:20 something. So we're in between the two games right now. So as of now, Baylor is in the national championship game,
Sweet.
who me and Goose had in the championship game.
Yeah, but
Oh.
Gonzaga's gonna win this, guys. Come,
Yeah, well-
all Gonzaga fans, say in the thing down below. Let's go, Gonzaga.
I mean, I'm a Washington
The
State
comments.
fan, so go Gonzaga.
Yeah, go Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, actually.
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Okay, yeah, put it down in the
That's-
thing where you rate it.
That's a very big topic there. Is it Gonzaga or
I
Gonzaga?
think it's Gonzaga. So yeah, who's
Yeah.
playing tonight?
Shout out to him.
So the next game is Gonzaga
Mm-hmm.
and UCLA.
Oh, Ookla!
Mimi Den's team.
Woo!
Well, they're out, so they only have a.
So there's some familiar recognition in this game. We have UCLA.
Yes.
Are you rooting for UCLA or are you rooting for Gonzaga?
Well, in the podcast where I did the Final Four exclusively, I picked Gonzaga to win this game.
All right.
So I'm going with Gonzaga.
Yeah,
I-
Gonzaga.
I don't think they'll beat Baylor. Actually, it'd be funny if Gonzaga loses because then this whole podcast becomes irrelevant. And Goose is cheering for Gonzaga for no reason.
Yeah, well, yeah. So if they don't say it down below, I will find you, and you will.
Goose
for
really
this.
hyping up the comments section
Wow,
tonight.
yeah.
The reviews.
Yeah, come on.
Is it just one game tonight? Who else is playing?
It's just
Yeah, because, well, there were 2. But
Oh, one earlier.
we're recording this after the first game.
Post game number 1.
Yes.
Yeah, we watched it. And
Where,
I forgot. Oh, Baylor won.
There was an hour and a half in between the 2 games.
Well, Yeah, but
So
we're missing
who won the
game
first?
right
Who
now.
won the first game? Because I missed that. I was talking.
Baylor.
Baylor won.
Baylor beat Houston.
Was that expected?
Yeah.
Hey, guys,
Okay.
Me and Goose
Hey.
predicted that one.
Hey, let's talk about tsunamis.
Tsunamis?
Yeah, because last time.
What
We
up?
talked about earthquakes last time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Last time Amy Awesome was on, we did earthquakes.
True.
We were talking about Iceland.
True, we were.
And apparently, one of those volcanoes did erupt.
Oh,
Out of the 200, what is it, 20,000? Is that what we said? 20,000?
well, that'd be a
Earthquakes?
shame. Well, that'd be a
I
shame
think
if
so.
that big mountain right there was a volcano.
We are driving in the mountains.
We
So-
are. I don't think we're driving in the volcanic mountains,
Yeah.
however.
Well, unless all the mountains in Virginia was volcanoes, well, this would be the end of this podcast. You're probably not even going to see it.
You wouldn't hear the pod.
True.
They wouldn't get out, probably.
Yeah.
We'd be covered in ash.
Who would send it out?
Okay. So we have one more game left, and then the championship, correct?
Championship is Monday at 9:20 Eastern.
PM Eastern. Oh,
Why are they doing it so late?
That's what I'm asking.
right?
Why couldn't they have it at 8:20?
Yo, them.
I mean, that's going to be a long day for you, Zander.
Please believe myself out. Monday actually is another spring break day.
By the way, when I say
Oh.
better beep that
So-
out.
I don't have to wake up early.
Okay. Well, I hope the game goes your way.
Yeah, because you always.
Well, me and Goose will be on opposing sides if Gonzaga wins in the Final Four. It'll be Gonzaga versus Baylor.
Uh-oh.
I'll be going for Baylor. Goose will be going for Gonzaga.
Yeah, they beat it in mine.
Goose had Gonzaga and Baylor in his championship
By the
game.
way,
Wow.
By the way, guys, if you want to join ours next year, please just I have no idea, so you're not joining, so too bad.
Wow.
Wow.
The Zander Specs group.
I think I just.
This is getting harsh.
I think I crashed a lot of their dreams just then.
Crash their dreams. They're
Dash
hoping
their dreams.
next year I'm going to get Goose. Apparently not. Goose dashed their dreams.
I will crush you.
All right. Well, good to know.
if
What else
you-
has gone on in the
if you
world
do,
today?
Goose will crush
What's
you.
happened?
Today is Saturday, April 3rd.
Well, it's actually 4, 3, 2, 1. So
Oh!
it is the countdown.
Today's date is 4-3-2-1.
Correct.
Yeah, by the way, why are we even recording this? It's not even close to Wednesday when you normally post yours.
I said emergency podcast.
No, I don't care. We're posting it on Wednesday, Zander.
Well, it comes out on Wednesdays. I actually recorded
Edit.
before. This is incredible.
4, 3, 2, 1.
By the way,
Zander's facts.
if you are knowing what my name is, it is nothing.
Goose.
No, that's not my real name.
How about that, Goose? 4-3-2-1.
My real name is
Goose.
S. I'm not telling you the rest of my name. You guys are gonna have to figure it out on your own.
Okay. What else happened today? Anything? I mean, it's the day before Easter.
It is a lot of Christian Americans celebrating the Easter holiday.
Correct.
By the
Stop.
way, if you hit the Easter bunny, get your shotguns ready because you're gonna go hunting.
Wow. That's horrible. Why would you shoot the Easter bunny?
I don't know, but some dogs might kill it. By the way, the phone turned off.
So the stock market was closed Friday because it was Good Friday.
Of course it was.
Goodwill. Oh, by the way, do you know anybody will even check it now because they only know it comes out on Wednesdays?
Well, this is going to come out Wednesday.
Yeah, this will be out on Wednesday.
It might not be this Wednesday. It might be another Wednesday. But
Wait, why, what?
well, I have a plan for this week already. Like I already have another guest, but we'll see.
Well, there's 3 guests right now, so this will be next week's podcast.
Maybe.
Okay.
Thanks for clarifying that for the audience.
By the way, how about we all reveal our real ages?
Our real ages?
27.
And I'm 84.
Wow. The 84-year-old whose voice has turned
Benjamin Button. It's gone the exactly
Just
opposite.
kidding.
higher.
You will never know my age. It's 10.
I'm not going to give mine. I'm pretty sure people could just guess it.
Don't know why you asked that in the
Yeah.
first place. Thought we were talking about Good Friday.
Yeah, okay, sure. Come on, let's get you.
Good Friday. And there was some, some issues at the Capitol recently.
Oh, yeah, there was
That happened on Good Friday. Yes,
Yeah, it
indeed.
was not.
It's not Good Friday, people.
It was
We
yesterday.
need Good Friday.
So that turned out to be Not a Magite. That's what they're cute.
Oh, is that the new name? A Magite?
Magite.
I did not know that.
Magite.
Magite?
Magonite. What's
I
a
think
Magonite?
that was a follower of the Nation of Islam.
By the way, guys.
I'm not sure.
What's
so
a
I might have
Magonite?
to cut that out. I don't know.
Everybody, what's a Magonite?
Is that like stalactite and...
We need to teach the kids what a Magonite is.
Well, I don't know if it's a real thing. I just made it up. Kind of.
Okay.
Well then, the kids won't learn. You're Zander. This is your fact.
Did you have too much sugar?
Facts. No, I didn't.
When he's in front of a microphone.
Oh.
And in a car.
Oh.
Double.
Awesome.
We still have 20 more minutes of this podcast. It takes like 30 minutes to get to our house.
We do.
Yeah,
we got
we're
a lot
okay.
of content to fill.
Yeah, we're pretty okay. So yeah, that Capitol thing happened and somebody died.
2 individuals, a police officer and the assailant.
Correct.
Yeah, he was shot to death.
I would assume.
But it wasn't an act of terrorism, so they're saying.
He was
Really not.
wasted.
Okay.
He was
I don't think he was
wasted on it.
wasted.
I don't know about that.
Anyway. And what else happened? Something else happened. Recently.
That's true.
Yeah, there was something else that happened. And I keep saying which I hate.
You probably won't know this, but MLB. So the Georgia thing with the Georgia
Yes.
voting bill.
Yep.
MLB was supposed to hold their All-Star game in Atlanta in July, and now they're moving it.
To where?
They don't
Where?
know.
Oh.
Wait, you don't know?
They don't know, or they
Well,
haven't
how do
said.
they not know?
I actually read
They're
something about that
moving.
today.
That's weird.
But I thought they'd made a decision. I guess they hadn't.
I haven't
I
heard.
guess I read that wrong.
There probably will be an announcement by the time this comes out, but at this
Okay.
point, we don't.
Okay. So sports are still affected.
Hey,
Yes.
guys, by the way, after this, we're going to listen to it. And you know what
Okay.
it sounds like.
Indeed.
We watched Godzilla versus Kong the other night.
I did not, so you're gonna have to give us the full recap.
Have you seen it?
No, I
You haven't
haven't.
seen it at all.
No, but I'm not
Okay,
gonna watch it, so you can tell me what happens.
Oh.
Xander, how about you title this Recap of Godzilla?
I might.
So
Let's just go ahead and explain the entire story.
it's
Please do.
It's
Spoilers.
It's radioactive,
Oh, by the way, no, we're starting with it first.
and there's an axe that King Kong has.
No, let me do it, Amy. I'm better at this.
Goodness.
Great. All right, play-by-play, Goose, go.
Okay, so it all starts by King Kong is doing his normal life, and then he throws a tree at this weird thing.
Normal
so
life,
then they
King
take him
Kong.
to the ocean. So they pretty much playing the entire.
Pretty much, King Kong pulls a Hunger Games and shatters his dome.
Oh yeah, yes, I know it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I'm telling him. Go
okay,
ahead.
guys, this movie is gonna be like 2 hours long, so have fun listening to Xander's podcast. Okay, so then he breaks free. They take him to the ocean. Godzilla gets cold cocked. They go to this thing called Hollow Earth. That's where he gets his
It gets cold cocked.
and then they go to like this Tokyo. I don't know.
This place called Tokyo.
What's
Yeah,
Tokyo?
they go to Hong Kong, actually.
Ah,
It's
Hong Kong.
Tokyo, Amy.
No, they go to Hong Kong.
Nope, it's Tokyo.
Nope,
Yeah,
it's Hong Kong
no,
because
no,
the actress who played
no.
Elle kept saying Hong Kong.
Goose,
Okay.
I don't think you know.
Okay, shush. You have to continue on the recap.
Alright.
Mechagodzilla's kicking.
Oh, Mega Godzilla, right? That happened.
Mechagodzilla's kicking Skullcrawler's butts. He's kicking their heads, pretty much he is. And then he comes up and then he kicks Godzilla's butt.
Yeah, he's making waste of
And then
him.
King Kong kicks his butt. He tears off his head. It's
Yep.
a lot of oil, which I think represents blood. Then I don't know what happens.
Oil.
It's just a bunch of roaring. So then
Roaring.
Godzilla just goes in the water and does his thing. Crazy.
Well, Godzilla kind of thanks King Kong and then goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's the end of the movie?
yeah,
So it's a draw.
pretty much.
Again.
They succeeded over the Mega Godzilla.
Yeah, I think they're
They,
friends
like,
now.
Got him down. Yeah, exactly. They were like, thank you very much for conquering that beast, and we're done. Yeah, that's what happened.
So when are Godzilla and Kong actually going to fight? Is there going to be a sequel?
I didn't see a sequel because both of them were kind of happy with what happened. But Mega Godzilla, if he had babies, there's going to be some retaliation. Yeah.
Slowing down here.
Yeah.
Coming into a town.
Mechagodzilla cannot have babies.
Well, I'm just saying.
I thought Mechagodzilla died.
He did.
So
but
he
I
can't
mean,
have
he's also
babies.
mechanical, so
Oh,
there could be little pieces of him everywhere.
yes.
I guess you're right. I guess little spider versions of him.
Oh yeah, little spider versions.
By the way,
exactly.
last time you got his head torn off, there was still something left. I'm pretty sure it was
But
like a laser.
yeah, it was.
Okay, well, let's recap
action-packed.
the last Godzilla versus King Kong.
Uh oh.
And also,
That was
okay,
what it was.
I
We
can't
just
really remember, so we're just starting in the last battle. Godzilla shoves King Kong shove a tree down Godzilla's throat. They do a tumble roll. Godzilla drowns. How did that even happen? King Kong swims away. By the way, in the middle of the movie.
King Kong swims away.
Yes, I don't even know how that happened, but let me continue.
What is this from?
I don't know.
That's the first Godzilla vs. Kong.
There was another.
They only made two. That was an old one.
This is from many years ago.
Yeah, so then...
Why are we recapping this?
This is what happened a while ago. I doubt there's any recaps of this, so we're going to be the first one who does
okay. Well.
this. So then he beats up an octopus. It doesn't happen after it, but it just happens like as they introduce King Kong. They fly him on a bunch of air balloons, and then you know what happens next because you've all seen it. Okay, that's the recap.
Apparently they haven't. Okay, well.
Alrighty then.
I've seen one of those really old ones where you can actually see the zipper on the back of Godzilla.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. There was that.
I have not heard of that Godzilla vs. Kong movie, though.
Yeah.
That is news to me. Goose's facts.
But there was like some interesting things going on in this new Godzilla vs. Kong.
By the way, guys,
flying into the Antarctic and finding his home and getting
okay,
the
everybody, I
energy
need to talk.
source. It was interesting.
Goose, hold on.
Yeah, well, I can't hold on.
you better.
Why? You need to. And
You're not the star.
so that was different. I didn't know about that part. And then Kong had this, he has the radioactive like Godzilla axe.
Apparently.
So that happened. And the people, Apex, which was the evil part of this movie, the Apex Corporation, they perished, which was great.
Perished.
That made me feel better that Apex kind of disintegrated.
They did not deserve that.
So, they did. They were bad people.
Okay, well, I forgot what by the way, guys. Okay, sorry, Amy. You can talk right after this. I will be creating my own podcast in like 10 years, so you guys better be ready.
Get ready.
In 10 years?
Goose.
Yes. Produces scary stories.
Ah.
We could fill hours with Goose's scary stories. He's learned from
Each
YouTube.
time there will be 5 scary stories.
Okay.
5.
They'll each be 1 hour, so there's going to be 5 hours long.
Wow.
I may edit it some. Okay.
We also watched Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time for Player, for Andrew.
I have not seen that. Andrew has been a guest on this podcast, indeed.
Yes, and Rocky Horror is a cult classic, and also a
That's a
musical that I've been in a couple times and choreographed. But Tim Curry is in it. He plays the lead, and it's such it's an icon in American cinematography. And when they play it at midnight these days, people still bring props. Like it's a thing. So your dad was very excited to watch it again.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
By the way, if you guys want to go and check it out, go on HBO Max, I'm pretty sure.
They have it.
Yeah, it's
And
actually a pretty good movie.
All right.
Pretty fun.
Well, if only HBO was sponsoring this podcast. They're not.
They're not. One of my friends is going to be on one of their shows, though, but I'm not going to mention it because HBO is not sponsoring this podcast.
They are not.
So...
Wait, can you just bleep it out, though, Zander?
I don't care.
Yeah, just tell us.
They won't care.
Yeah, just bleep
Well,
it.
my friend is going to be on Righteous Gemstones. So, the Righteous Gemstones on HBO. So, you can bleep that part out. But he's great, and I'm excited for him.
Interesting.
And...
Okay, you're going to have to bleep that out, though.
What else did we watch? We've watched, still lots of Game of Thrones and stuff.
Again, you're watching Game of Thrones again.
I know, but there's so much happening that it's so hard to absorb everything at once.
By the way, guys, if you want to hear it, you're going to have to wait till HBO Max sponsors us. If you want to hear what the show is. Because he's going to be bleeping it out.
We are really going after HBO.
Totally.
AT&T.
Bring it.
Well, we don't have AT&T.
And
Conversation.
what else did we do this weekend? Oh, there was some golf played.
Golf. Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, I
the
don't-
Masters is coming up.
Oh, the Masters.
Yes.
Fancy.
I wish upon a star.
Is
that
Tiger
this
recovered
podcast-
enough? Is
No.
he gonna... Oh, no.
Not even close.
He's broken.
Oh my gosh.
Poor guy.
Is he ever gonna? I don't even know if he's gonna.
Is he out of the hospital?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what you've been talking about anymore.
Tiger Woods?
That was a whole thing a couple of months.
Yeah,
weeks
he
ago.
wrecked his car, what, a month ago?
They determined the cause, but they're not gonna say.
Okay.
Apparently, he
Okay.
doesn't want. I guess he doesn't want everyone to know.
I did not.
So it must be embarrassing.
Hey, we need to
I'll
do
just-
this at least once a month, right? Like at least one emergencies and facts.
You know.
I like emergency facts. Like, do like a
Emergency
5-minute episode of emergency facts.
this is. We'll see. how this is.
So what else are emergency facts right now? So COVID is COVID.
Vaccinations in Virginia.
Vaccinations in Virginia, right?
Ralph.
If
the
nobody
governor.
gives me my COVID shot, I will show up.
Well, you're not
up
gonna get
there.
one for many years, but the
Yeah, well, I
governor.
don't even care. I'm gonna beat them all up.
Okay.
The governor said April 18 or April 16 or 18 or 17 is the date that all Virginians 16 and older will be eligible. So I have pre-registered. I am ready to go.
All right, so that's an emergency fact.
They just need to call me.
The NCAA tournament is a
That we,
fast fact.
We did that.
We've already talked about
The
that.
women's game.
Chop, chop.
Oh, the women's game. Who's in the women's game?
So the women's
Well, UConn
is
won.
Sunday. When
No, they
UConn
lost. They lost. The UConn Huskies lost.
They lost to Arizona,
Yes.
Arizona.
and they will play Stanford in the final Sunday.
Oh, they
Final
will.
Sunday.
All
Okay.
Pac-12 final.
All Pac-12 final.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
What is the last Zander fact for the emergency facts?
Oh.
Emergency fact. Emergency fact.
I don't know. Goose, what do you have?
For what?
Do you have any facts?
Do you have any facts to throw out there?
How much vaccinations have been? Okay.
I got an alert today that there was 4 million vaccinations in a
I have
single day.
another.
Wow.
The record.
I have another one. What's the weather tomorrow?
It's nice.
It is. Yeah, last night the low was in the teens, and Monday the high is going to be in the 70s.
Yes. We had snow on the deck, and
Wow.
now people are going to play golf. Yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Virginia, April.
Woohoo!
Well, isn't it supposed to rain in April?
Nope, not yet. Maybe next week.
Next week, yes.
Right now,
That
we're going to
was
enjoy the
nice.
sun because the Easter Bunny is coming,
Yes.
or Christ, or whoever.
Wait. I
yes.
think hey, we have to leave out carrots for it too.
I think my Easter Bunny likes, I don't know, quesadillas.
Wait,
cheese
wait.
quesadillas.
Why
Yeah.
would the Easter Bunny not like carrots? It's a rabbit.
I don't know. Maybe rabbits are picky like humans. Maybe they don't, every rabbit doesn't like the same thing. What if that's the case?
Well, let's just see if it
I don't
likes
know.
carrots.
What if the dogs at home are wondering where the heck their dinner is?
Al Pal.
Al Pacino.
Last time you were on this podcast, Amy, he did make an appearance.
He did. He barked and barked and barked. He's a super happy dog.
He's a super old dog.
He is. He's old and happy.
By
and
the way,
loves his food.
our other dog is named Puss.
Puss.
Yeah, Diggy's
Alda.
squishy toy.
Her
That's
name is
true.
actually Sally, by the way.
Thanks for that.
She's pretty cool.
She is a dingo.
She's a dingo. It's true.
That is the breed.
Well, you sure it's a dingo? Okay, we should be ending the podcast.
Well,
soon.
we don't know what else she would be
I don't know.
except a dingo.
We're arriving at our destination.
We are,
here.
and you get to park in the garage.
Oh, wow.
Wait, are we
Yeah.
gonna do
have
this
to-
inside or are we
Yeah,
gonna
Hit
end
the
this?
button.
The big one?
Yeah, the big one.
Oh wait,
Why am I
wait.
have my blinker on?
You
I
end
don't
it?
Did I? Oh, I haven't edited yet. I've been driving.
He's not Superman.
All right. Am I getting in here?
Yeah,
This is good.
you're in.
Oh well, should we end the
And stop.
podcast now?
That is the end of the Sanders Facts Emergency Podcast.
Pull up just a little bit.
Okay, guys, see you next time on Zander's Facts.
going?
Actually, probably won't.
And keep going. Stop. Great. Thank you.
That is the end. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Can you-
I mean, night.
Can you pop the back for me?
This is Zander's Facts.
All right, welcome back, Ed Zander's Facts Podcast. Thank you for listening to this crazy long episode. I know. But, I mean, was it not great or what? I mean, come on. We talked about sports, news, emergency facts. Oh my gosh. I love emergency facts. So, all right, there you go. New stuff next week. So, make sure to listen next week, too, along with this week. So, remember, support the Zander's Facts Podcast. Subscribe, download, rate, and review. If you don't do it, I will know, because I can see the data. And remember, follow us on the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the socials. Spreading the word, Zander's Facts. Tell all your friends. If you don't, I'm also going to know, and I'm going to go and hurt you. So next week, I don't know what we're talking about. But soon, I do want to do another breakdown, kind of like we did with that policing bill, on the infrastructure bill. Kind of like the COVID relief bill. We did. So, because that infrastructure bill is huge. So we're going to do that. Not sure when. We're also going to have that mock draft. So, I mean, come on. You're going to know. You're going to know the facts. Zander's Facts. All right. That's going to do it for this edition of the Zander's Facts Podcast. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you all next week.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.